Good morning, students. Let's begin with the second portion of the chapter Deep Water. We had already done the first portion that day, where we came to know that Douglas had developed an aversion of water when he was just 3 to 4 years old. Still, he went to the YMCA pool. We started the chapter over here, and he chose YMCA pool. The reason Yakima River was treacherous and YMCA pool was comparatively safe. The second reason was that the drop of the pool was gradual. Drop means the bottom of the pool, the floor of the pool. In many cases, the floor of the pool is very steep. So the pool becomes dangerous because people never know when they come into the deep end. But in this case, the floor of the pool was so gradual that it was safe for youngsters to learn or anybody to learn. He chose YMCA pool because of this reason. Then he had certain inferiority complexes, and one inferiority complex was that he was too lean and thin, he was skinny. And the second inferiority complex was he had an aversion of water. In his subconscious, he had a fear of water when he was just 3 to 4 years old and he had gone to California Beach with his father. Now, that day at YMCA pool, he met with a misadventure. And the misadventure was that a bully boy came and picked him and threw him into the deep end of the pool. Now, page number 23, last second paragraph, we had read the first line, and now we are going to begin from here. Yes, I landed in a sitting position, swallowed water, and went at once to the bottom of the pool. Now, when you are asked, Douglas was just thrown into the swimming pool, how did he feel? What were his instant emotions? So, you'll find that these emotions are of any person who is just thrown into a pool. But here we have to note, according to Douglas, what did he feel? He landed in a sitting position. He was sitting, obviously. So, as the bully boy picked him up and threw him into the deep end, he landed in a sitting position, swallowed water, and went at once to the bottom of the pool. I was frightened, but not yet frightened out of my wits. This means that Douglas was frightened, but he was not that much frightened that he would not use his intelligence. And on the way down, I planned. When my feet hit the bottom, I would make a big jump, come to the surface, lie flat on it, and paddle to the edge of the pool. Now he thought it would be so simple that he would touch the bottom of the pool, he would push the bottom of the pool, and he would come up like a cork. And then he would paddle to the edge of the pool. Now this seems to be very simple. But for a man who is just thrown, or a person who is just thrown into the pool and who doesn't know swimming, it's very tough now to come up and then paddle to the edge of the pool. But still, Douglas was sure he would be able to do that. Now let's see what happened after that. It seemed a long way down. Those 9 feet were more like 90. The pool was just 9 feet. But it seemed to Douglas he was going down so slowly that he thought that it seemed as though the pool had become 90 feet deep. And before I touched bottom, my lungs were ready to burst because lungs wanted air, and he knew if he take in air, he would take in water and he would drown into water. But still, he was careful. But when my feet hit bottom, I gathered. I summoned all my strength and made what I thought was a great spring upwards. I imagined I would bob to the surface like a cork. Now here we have completed the first portion. The first portion, that is that he just was thrown into the pool. What did he feel like? He landed in a sitting position. He was frightened, but he was not frightened that he could not that much frightened that he could not use his intelligence. He used his wit. He touched the bottom of the pool and he thought he would come up like a cork. But while he was going down, it seemed as though the 9 feet appeared like 90 feet. Now let's begin the second part. The second part begins from here. Instead, I came up slowly. I opened my eyes and saw nothing but water, water that had a dirty yellow tinge to it. I grew panicky. I reached up as if to grab a rope, and my hands clutched only at water. I was suffocating. I tried to yell, but no sound came out. Then my eyes and nose came out of water, but not my mouth. And here we complete the second portion. Now, what does it mean? When he came up, he did 3 things. First, he opened his eyes. And he saw what? He saw water which had a yellow tinge to it. Why water had a yellow tinge? The reason, he had fear in his eyes. And we say we have fear in the eyes, we become yellow with fear. And because of that, the whole water appeared to be very turbid and dirty. And that dirty yellow water. Then the second thing he did was he wanted to catch hold of something. He thought that a rope would come in his hands or something would come in his hands. But in his hands just came what was there? Water. I was suffocating. I tried to yell. So what was the third thing that he did was he tried to scream. But he knew only one thing was hearing him, and that was water. So what were the 3 things he did while coming up? One was that he opened his eyes, he saw yellow water. Second was he tried to catch hold of something, just the water came in his hands, and then he tried to scream, but nobody heard him. Now we are going to begin the third portion of it. Now again he was going down into the water, but before that he flailed on the water for some time. Flailing means just coming up and down in the water. So we are going to begin that portion from here. I flailed at the surface of the water, swallowed and choked. I tried to bring my legs up, but they hung as dead weights, paralyzed and rigid. A great force was pulling me under. We understand this. Water always pulls you down. Here also the water was pulling Douglas. I screamed, but only the water heard me. I had started on the long journey back to the bottom of the pool. Now let us see the next part as he was going down. I struck at the water as I went down, expending my strength as one in a nightmare fights an irresistible force. It happens, students, when people have nightmares or what we say as the bad dreams. Then in that case, it seems as though we wish to scream, but we can't. We are running, but as though somebody is running after us, or our legs are paralyzed and we are not able to move them, and we try our level best to move them. The same thing happened over here. Douglas was trying to use all his strength as people use in a nightmare fight. He was using it, but everything seemed to be useless. I had lost all my breath. My lungs ached, my head throbbed. I was getting dizzy. Now we can understand his lungs were aching because they wanted air. His head was throbbing, it was beating fast. I was getting dizzy. Dizzy was just becoming close to getting unconscious. But I remembered the strategy. You will really appreciate Douglas. The reason that still he was so afraid of everything. He was afraid of dying, but still he remembered the strategy. Then the strategy was that I would again touch the bottom of the pool and then I would come up. I would spring from the bottom of the pool and come like a cork to the surface. I would lie flat on the water, strike out with my arms, and thrash with my legs. Then I would get to the edge of the pool and be safe. I went down, down endlessly. I opened my eyes, nothing but water, water with a yellow glow, dark water that one would not see through. And then sheer stark terror seized me. These lines are very important lines. You have to see these lines carefully here. And then sheer stark terror seized me. Terror that knows no understanding. Terror that knows no control. Terror that no one can understand who has not experienced it. Now, many people say they are not afraid of death. But we feel if we are driving a vehicle and a very speedy vehicle comes very close to us and we just move our vehicle on one side and for few minutes we feel we are not able to control our heartbeat. It's a spontaneous emotion. It comes on its own. That is the terror of death. So those who say they are not afraid of death, everybody is. The thing is that we try to overcome that fear. That's another part. That's our bravery. That's our courage. But still, it happens on its own that this emotion comes that we are afraid of death. This terror is the terror of death. I'll repeat the lines. Terror that knows no understanding. It comes on its own. Terror that knows no control. We can't control it. It will come. Terror that no one can understand who has not experienced it. Some people say they are not afraid, but yes, if they'll experience, they'll know this is which terror? The terror of dying. I was shrieking underwater, shrieking, screaming underwater. I was paralyzed underwater, stiff, rigid with fear, like his whole body had become stiff and rigid. He was not able to move even his legs. Even the screams in my throat were frozen. Only my heart and the pounding in my head said that I was still alive. And then, in the midst of the terror, came a touch of reason. I must remember to jump when I hit the bottom. You'll really appreciate, as I said, marvel at the bravery of this boy, just a boy of 10 or 11 years. But he says, I remembered the strategy. I have to touch the bottom and I have to come on the top. At last, I felt the tiles under me. My toes reached out as if to grab them. I jumped with everything I had. Here we are ending the next part. Now let's come to the last part of it. When while coming up, what three things he did? You remember earlier we have done and we said three things he did. One was to open the eyes to see something. Second was to hold something. And third was to scream. Now while coming up, he was doing the same thing. So let's begin it from here. But the jump made no difference. The water was still around me. I looked for ropes, ladders, water wings. The same thing. Opened his eyes, looked for something. Nothing but water. A mass of yellow water. Again, the same thing. My water had the yellow tinge because of fear. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me. Like a great charge of electricity, I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move, my legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. Now, here is where we understand that he was trying to do everything that he could, but nothing happened. Now, and then, strangely, there was light. I was coming out of the awful yellow water. At least my eyes were. My nose was almost out too. Then, the next thing, then I started down a third time. I sucked for air and got water. The yellowish light was going out. Now, students, the most important emotion is coming from here, this whole paragraph here, when we understand what are the feelings of a dying man. Then all effort ceased. I relaxed. We can understand he knew he was going to die. Even my legs felt limp and a blackness swept over my brain. It wiped out fear, it wiped out terror. There was no more panic. It was quiet and peaceful. Nothing to be afraid of. This is nice. To be drowsy, to go to sleep, no need to jump, too tired to jump. It's nice to be carried gently, to float along in space. Tender arms around me, tender arms like mother's. Now I must go to sleep. Now, these are the feelings of a man who is just about to die. He said he was not afraid of anything. A blackness came. He did not want to make any efforts. He felt the tender arms of his mother around him and he just felt sleepy and dizzy. I crossed to oblivion and the curtain of life fell. From his side, he died. But just we know at the nick of the time, he was saved. So we are stopping over here at this particular point. The curtain of life fell. So a brief revision right from the beginning. Douglas had a fear of water. Then he still went to YMCA pool to learn swimming. And after going to the YMCA pool, he learned swimming again. He tried to learn swimming. Yes, from here. He went to the YMCA pool. He tried to learn swimming. He overcame his inferiority complexes. Then he went to the one day when he went to the pool, he met with the misadventure. The bully boy picked him up, threw him into the deep end of the pool. He went down. The 9 feet appeared like 90. He made the strategy. He tried to come up. Coming up, he did the three things, but still the water pulled him down. While going down, he understood what was the terror of death. And the third time when he was going down, he was feeling very sleepy and he knew that he was about to die. He felt the tender arms of death or tender arms of mother around him, and the curtain of life fell. The last line I'll repeat: I crossed to oblivion. Oblivion means forgetfulness. And the curtain of life fell. From his side, he died.